And let me find today's docket. So, Bashan, welcome back. I stumbled across a song that I love. You remember the song Love's Train?
Oh, yeah, like
Yes. Oh, I can't believe you're trying to ask me to sing that. I'm saving it for America's Idol or something else. But do you know that song is based on a true story?
I didn't know that, but I could imagine.
And two of the guys, they ended up writing the song. One guy who's lead singer in the band, and the other guy, because it's the other guy's girl. And so each of them write a song, and the person says, well, the guy who was dating her, his version sounds best. And the other guy's like, I'm not singing that. And then they said, hey, this is going to be a hit. And that ended up being their best hit.
Yeah.
But it's based upon a true story. Who knows? Bashan, we need to find out who that girl was. They did a special on, I think it was Oprah Winfrey, all of the songs that were written about girls. They actually had the girls who the song was written about. Like Richie Valens, Donna. They had Donna on there. Somebody needs to write a song and put Bashan's name in it, or Stephanie.
Yeah. I'm already in the song check.
Yeah. What?
Double Dutch bud.
Oh, that is true. Morgan, is your name in a song?
No. Well,
No.
might be, it's might after a few weeks.
Oh.
All right, everyone, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to let me know that you are here. Roger Mims. Thank you. Carrie Lampkin. Carrie Lampkin. Michael Medine.
Here you are.
Thank you. Jose Maciel. Jose Ricardo Maciel.
Oh, Judge, I was dismissed off Docket yesterday.
All right, thank you. And nobody can ever say that Bud Ridenour is not at the jail, because he was at the jail last night.
That's good. You look good.
Thank you. He didn't even offer to bond me out though, so I'm sorry. Caroline Brown, custody. Leo Cantu, custody. Teron Trevino. Thank you. Michael Gonzalez. Pablo Alvedano. Jose Mia. Constance Sinwell. Custody. Allison Settle. Allison Lee Settle. Isaiah Story. Felipe Reyes, custody. Darren Fish. Darren Anthony Fish. Kevin Harris, custody. Javier Salazar. Javier Alejandro Salazar. Kadesia Pettis, custody. Thank you. Arianta de la Cruz. Thank you. Luis Martinez. Thank you. Joseph Krueger. I think we will see where he is. Estrella De Jesus, custody. Luz Marino. Thank you. Rudy Luna. James Laresh. James David Laresh. Emmanuel Chavarria. Thank you. Joshua Anzadua. Joshua Dwayne Anzadua. Juan Robles. Juan Jesus Robles Jr. Stephanie Sandoval. Timothy Dean, custody. Janaro Raina, custody. Matthew Jacob Salazar. Luis Martinez, custody. Juan How do you pronounce that last name? Caleros? No, those L's are supposed to be a Y. Calleros, thank you. All right. Is there anyone who's present and your name was not called? I'm sorry, what's your name? Frank? All right, no problem. Francisco Pettis?
It's a probation. Rescheduled from Tuesday.
All right, to the clerk, can you make sure that file is pulled? All right, and you, sir? I'm sorry, Paul who?
Well, he's in the docket too, Judge. They're all 37.
All right, let me see if I,
Do you have a docket that has 10 pages, Judge?
no, I have a docket that has 9 pages. All right. Oh, no problem. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, he's in the docket, Judge.
All righty, I don't have the page that you all have.
Page 7.
Page 7.
Judge.
All right, thank you so much. All right, oh no, it's not, hey, it happens. All right, guys, I'm gonna recall the docket because I didn't have the appropriate docket. So bear with me. It's Friday Eve, so it's gonna be great. Roger Mims, Carrie Lampkin, Michael Medine,
Here, Your Honor.
thank you. Caroline Brown, Caroline Yvette Brown. Oh, thank you. Leo Cantu, custody. Teron Allen Trevino, thank you. Raymond McKinney, that's 130. Michael Gonzalez, Pablo Alvadano, Jose Mia, Constance Sinwell, custody. Allison Settle. Isaiah Story, Philippe Reyes, custody. Darren Anthony Fish, Kevin Harris, custody. Javier Salazar, Javier Alejandro Salazar, Kadesia Pettis, custody. Arianta de la Cruz, thank you. Luis Alec Martinez, thank you. Joseph Krueger,
Judge, I believe he's in jail in Guadalupe County.
all right, thank you. Estrella De Jesus,
Present for her, Judge.
Uh, yes, she's in custody. Jimmy Montavo, custody. Allison Settle is on the docket twice. Luz Marino, thank you. Rudy Luna, Frank Pettis, thank you. Paul Bell, James Loresh, Emmanuel Chavarria, thank you. Joshua Anzadua, Juan Robles Jr., Stephanie Sandoval, Timothy Dean, custody. Janaro Raina, custody. Isaiah Gibson, custody. Christine Garcia, Albert Villarreal, custody. Luis Martinez, custody. Juan Calleros, thank you. All right, so then that leaves Paul Bell. Who's Paul Bell? All right, thank you. All right, everyone, you know the rules, I believe. You may confer. Yes. What page? All right, oh, I'm so sorry. took your docket. I'm sure I did.
The first time I know you did.
All right. All right, thank you.
Yes.
Hey. You late. Sorry.
All right, who's here on Luis Martinez?
It's in your honor.
And if you could have your client come forward.
One judge.
Good morning. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Great, how are you doing?
Doing great, man.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're here for discovery and for the state to tender an offer. Where are we?
There's
Everyone, please whisper. Yes.
someone else's discovery in my e-discovery. Aside from PDFs, I've already scanned this to Ms. Galloway. Every video dash body camera is someone else's with a different theft or unauthorized use.
Okay.
Yes, Judge, so the reports have been tendered, but the videos are from a different case. I'm reaching out to the arresting agency right now to try to get that resolved and get the correct videos so that I can tender them to Mr. Stateson.
There's one additional potential issue.
Yes.
Everything is in Spanish, aside from the officer's narrative, every witness statement is in Spanish except for one, that they typed it on the computer. In the event that the case goes to trial, I would need a second chair for a Spanish speaking attorney, but I'm not requesting one at this time. Just want the court to be aware if we set something for trial, I need a second chair for Spanish speaking.
All right, so do you want an attorney appointed now? Because I don't like for us to wait till the last minute to have a second chair appointed if that's what's needed because of the Spanish.
I did speak with Monica Guerrero.
Mhm.
She's fluent in Spanish. If it goes to trial, she would sit second chair, so if the court could appoint her, she would accept it.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Luis Martinez, Ms. Guerrero needs to be appointed as second chair. And then this is being recalled for April 17th. On that date, all the discovery needs to be done and state you need to be prepared to tender an order.
Yes,
I mean, an offer.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
And is your client a citizen?
He
Okay,
he's English, great. He does speak Spanish, but everything's been in English. So.
okay.
I also believe the court has my birth certificate as well. When they request it.
Oh, no, I don't have your birth certificate, but somebody else may have it. And the reason why I asked that question is sometimes when we have information that's all in a different language other than English, usually the person is not a citizen.
Correct.
Although one time we had it all in English and the person wasn't a citizen. They were from England. And in the middle of, everything that's happening, the attorney's like, oh, I just learned my client is not a citizen. We need a Padilla letter. All right, so we will recall you for April 17th. That's for discovery and for the state to tender an offer.
Thank you, Judge.
Is there anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, just have a seat. They'll bring a reset form to you. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Not on the second row, ladies. Not first or second row. If you have family here, do not talk to them or you'll get asked to step out. Yes. It's here.
Francisco Pettis. Oh, are you all not ready? Okay. All right, could y'all pass me this when they're ready, please? Carrie Lampkin. You need to have a seat on the second row. All right, Francisco Pettis. All right, Mr. Pettis, how are you doing?
Just find yourself.
Oh, I'm doing okay.
That's good.
So the reason why you're here is for a compliance hearing.
Okay.
And probation is saying that you're not giving them certain information that they need. All right. Probation, is that still the case that you don't have specific information?
Judge, he just provided, I looked
Yes.
at some information that he provided. I'll make sure I get a copy of that and put it in his file. He also has information that he was in fact in the hospital. In the days that he did not report, so I'll make sure that that's in his file as well. we did a mental health evaluation. And although he did not meet the criteria for the mental health caseload, he did meet the criteria for the mental health initiative. And we would like to see about making sure that he is enrolled in that, as well as a previous condition that was already mandated by the court was he must attend and successfully complete treatment at Center for Health Services. So we just want to make sure that is continuing that treatment with the Center for Health Services, and just he's admonished and make sure that he reports when he needs to report.
All right, so do you understand what
Yes,
they're
ma'am.
requesting?
Yes.
So you need to make sure that you attend. If there is some issue that pops up where you're in the hospital or there's some reason why you can't make an appointment, you need to let your probation officer know and provide documentation. You understand?
Yes.
Is there anything you do not understand?
I had brought documented proof of that I've been going to the CSI, or was it?
This-
See my
Center for
officer.
Healthcare Services?
Yeah, that one, and I went to see my officer
Mhm.
several times, and I made payments, and so I've been doing that. I've been even going to anger management. I have proof of anger management.
All right, so here's the thing. The documentation you have that you're actually participating in classes, you need to make sure you give that to probation. They're saying that it's best for you to go to Center for Healthcare Services for mental health issues. Make sure you go,
Okay.
all right? And then when you attend, make sure you provide documentation, all right?
Okay.
And they're gonna put you with the mental health initiative, all right?
Okay.
That way, it will be someone who's aware of any type of issues you may have.
Okay, thank you.
All right, is there anything else you need from court?
No, that's it.
All right, probation, is there anything else? All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kapmeyer.
And you get the bill.
Yes, oh, yes, submit the
I
bill.
think there's a bill.
All right, thank you.
Compliance hearing, it's gotta be some thing.
Okay, thanks. Have a good one.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right.
Any progress?
Yes, yes.
It's 5 hours here. See, that's just 30 minutes from Louisiana border. I think it'd be a crime not to just go to Louisiana and eat coffee for a whole weekend. Which is what I'm gonna do.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
County's paying me to go to Russ. I'm not gonna go when I go to Louisiana, but they approved me for 15 hours to travel there and talk to my client.
Okay.
Yeah, on Krueger. Yeah. He's not here. He's in Pasadena County. This was a restitution TBD issue. Just a quick update.
Joseph Krueger.
Judge, we're here on that. Mr. Krueger is in custody out of county. This is just a restitution issue following a bench trial.
And
And as far as I've been able to discern, there is no restitution that Mr. Krueger owes to the alleged victims in those offenses.
That's my belief as well, Judge. It was mostly social security numbers and some other stuff like that.
all right. Probation on Joseph Krueger. Both the state and the defense are stating that no restitution is owed. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Like I said, he is in custody in Guadalupe while he's dealing with stuff out there. He hadn't been able to make bond.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. We had a sentencing, but I'm gonna run down and we'll get it done this morning. I'm just bouncing all over the place today.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Judge. Second.
All right, are you all ready on Juan Ceros? Just 1 second. We'll wait for probation.
Yeah, that's attached to the tape.
Have you already conferred with the state?
Yes, Judge.
Who is the prosecutor on this?
Ashley.
All right. No problem. You okay? All right, court is calling 2024 CR 5374 State versus Juan Eduardo Ceros. Can I have the parties announced for the record? State.
Ashley Jones for the state.
Defense.
On behalf of Juan Eduardo Caleros.
It's not Caleros. There's the two L's are Y. I'm telling you, it's hard when you look at the name. I always, in my mind, I have to say, it's a Y, it's a Y. Oh, I don't. Now I'm gonna mispronounce it. Are you Juan Ceros?
Yes,
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Juan Eduardo Ceros who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2024 CR 5374 for the offense of possession with intent to deliver controlled substance, penalty group 2, 1 to 4 grams on July 29th, 2024 for a term of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, the state's going to proceed on violation of condition number 1 on or about the 27th day of December 2024 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Juan Eduardo Ceros committed the offense of terroristic threat in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State?
The state will waive the remaining violation.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1? The court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. You need to say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement was to plead true to violation of condition number 1, and then we are going to go open to the court.
All right. Any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, except for Mr. Ayala.
All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Juan Eduardo Ceros.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Not Mr. Calleros, not Calleros. Not clean one.
Yeah, go ahead.
You just pled true to the offense of terroristic threat, right? Yes.
Oh, yes.
So that occurred back in December of 24,
Yes, sir.
and Who was the alleged victim in that?
My child's mother's, which is Haley Gomez.
Okay, your child's mother is Haley.
Yes,
And her mom is Tiffany.
Tiffany
What's Tiffany's last name?
Gomez.
Okay. Um,
So I'm sorry, who is the complainant in the terroristic threat?
Tiffany Gomez, his child's mom's.
The grandmother of your child?
Exactly. There
Okay,
you go.
all right, thank
It
you.
would put it better. While you're on probation, how are your UAs been coming out?
I've been clean,
Except,
except is it June?
it's the month, August.
August, yeah, but that's when I first started, man. So they told me I was gonna come out dirty because I did used to smoke a lot. But ever since I've been coming out clean.
Okay.
Have you completed any classes as part of
Yes,
your
parenting
probation?
class.
Okay, do you have a certificate?
Yes.
But we do have a certificate for the courts. You do.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
And once you made a bond on this motion to revoke, and the underlying misdemeanors that you had picked up, the reason for this motion, have you been on GPS?
Yes,
And
I'm
have
on
you-
it right now.
You on it right now? Have you had any issues since you made the bond?
No, I mean, no, sir.
Okay, you've been on full house arrest. You haven't even been able to go to work or anything. And you've been relying on
Well, my savings and income tax.
the income tax.
Yeah,
Okay. And you're accepting responsibility for something that occurred back on the December 27th, 2024, correct?
yes, sir.
Okay, now, I'm looking at a probation report that your probation is asking to add a hostility management class.
That's
the-
fine.
Okay,
Mhm.
and then intensive outpatient treatment, which was recommended back in January. of
Yes, and I
2025.
accepted it, but I was supposed to start the 25th, but she said to wait on it. I don't know why, but she just told me to wait on it.
And then they're also recommending having no contact with Tiffany.
Okay.
And Haley.
Hey, well, I can have contact either way because my CPS case is not over. So I'm going to like therapy and stuff for it until they clear me. That's when I could go back.
Okay, you're entering this child protective services also?
Yes,
Okay, and then last night you emailed or texted me a copy of the report from CPS, correct?
yes, sir.
And Judge, he texted this report to me at 1:30. I printed it out and I left it on the counter.
That's okay.
So I don't have anything for you to read unless you want to look it up on my phone. And it's just progress, progress notes that he has seen a therapist, he has seen it twice. And they're just now beginning a treatment plan for him for anxiety and various mental health conditions.
Alright.
I can print that out if you like, but
No,
I had a copy.
any objection to the court reading from counsel's phone?
No
I
objection. Your Honor.
printed it out and left it on the counter, Judge.
It happens. Thank you.
I can print that, Judge. if you'd like.
No.
Okay. What are you asking the judge for today?
To keep me on probation?
Continue on deferred
Yeah,
adjudication?
yes,
Okay, and the deferred is important to you, why?
because, well, I have a permanent residence. I don't want to lose missing out on the citizenship.
You're a permanent resident alien?
Yes,
And have you talked to an immigration lawyer like yesterday?
yes, I did.
Okay. And they urged you to attempt to keep that deferred in place?
Yes, sir.
And that if you were either convicted of this charge or the terroristic threat charge, it would affect your ability to stay in the country?
Yes, sir.
You understood that?
Yes,
And that was a lawyer out of Dallas?
yes. But they told me if I get a probation, it has to be less than 80. So,
On probation on the terroristic threat?
yes.
Judge, I have no more questions.
Any further questions?
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly. Hi, Mr. Kairos.
Uh,
So,
Excuse me, just 1 second. On the back row, we're on the record. If you all want to speak, you'll need to ask the deputy to move your client to the other end. All right, you may proceed.
back in July of 2024, you were placed on deferred adjudication probation for the possession charge, and then also an unlawful carrying of a weapon charge, right? And that was a firearm in that case?
Yes.
Okay. And you understood that for deferred adjudication, if you were to mess up, you would be subject to the full range of punishment at that time. And you understand that messing up is committing any law.
Yes.
And here you had two new offenses, is that correct? Okay. And we're proceeding on one, the terroristic threat. That terroristic threat, the basis of that, that was a firearm. Is that correct?
I mean, that's what they said, but there was no. It just, since, well, my girlfriend's mom, she knows that like my cases. So like, she don't really like me, so like, she'll try to do anything she can to put me in jail.
Okay, does she not like you because her daughter shows up with bruises?
Well, that was the first time we ever got in a fight, but like, she just don't like me in general. I don't know why.
Okay, so it's Haley's fault or Tiffany's fault?
Well, I'm not saying it's their fault, because, I mean, I did hit her, so. It's just. Even like before that, she didn't like me, so like, there's another reason for her to like not like me. So, yeah.
Do you think a reason for her not liking you could be that you have firearms in the home with her daughter and her daughter shows up with bruises?
That's just, she don't even know if I had like guns in her house, just because she knows of my previous charges, she's assuming that I have it. And since that happened, like, she tried to like put that in there.
Well, you're aware that the police report says that she saw you with the firearm, is
Yeah,
that
but
correct?
I mean, I came out shirtless, shorts. I don't think I had a firearm on my shorts.
Any further questions, Ronna?
All right, anything else?
I have no follow-up questions. Chairman.
Any objection to the court reviewing the court summary?
No, you're,
Not from the state.
do you have a copy?
Yes. They sent it by email, but I just don't review them until both parties say they have no objection, since it's hearsay. Probation. In this case, what is the recommendation? And it is Mr. Calleros.
Yes, Judge. According to the court summary, Judge, the recommendation is to include, to amend the conditions to include the no contact order with the victim's hostility management, and intensive outpatient treatment.
All right, so I'm going to explain something to you, sir. For this court, whether you are a citizen or not a citizen is not an issue for the court. So, for example, if someone before me was a citizen, and if I were to make the decision to continue them, I would continue them. If somebody before me wasn't a citizen, I wouldn't say, they're not a citizen, so I'm not going to continue them. Now, if they're in the country illegally, that may be something completely different because you're breaking the law. But your attorney has informed me that you're here legally. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. All right. And the court will note that you have completed the classes that I've required of you, and this is something completely different. I never ordered a no contact order because the case you're on is a drug case. And there was never anything that was presented to the court that there were some issues with violence. The court is finding violation of condition number 1 true. The court will deny the motion. Alternate amending conditions to include the hostility force. There's going to be CPS compliance because I see Child Protective Services is involved. There's to be no contact with Mahala, Iris Gomez, or Dallas Gomez.
they messed up on his name. It's Dallas Calleros. I don't even, that's important. So,
All right, is
yeah.
Dallas the child?
Yes, that's my baby. He's 3 months.
All right, so here's my question with regards to contact with the child.
Mhm.
Usually in CPS cases state, CPS will allow for supervised visitation. I think the order should be changed to say that he is not to have any contact with the child without CPS supervision. So if CPS decides that he's not to have contact, they're not going to let him have contact. But if CPS were to do supervision, usually it's done at an office, and that's where they supervise. So, yes,
But they told me I can, but I have to have like my friend or somebody with me.
no,
Oh,
I'm
they
not doing that where you have to have a friend. The person who will be supervising is somebody from CPS. And that's based upon, I know you've completed the parenting classes, but obviously there's something that is not working with you, okay?
Okay.
So there's to be no contact with Mahala Gomez. And there's to be supervised contact by a CPS worker with, and what is your child's name?
Dallas Calleros.
All right, Dallas Calleros. And let me see. There is to be intensive outpatient treatment. All right, and with regards to the GPS, do y'all still want it full or you want to allow him to work?
We would look at full, Your Honor. The state's position.
They put the GPS on as a condition of the cases in County Court 13.
Mhm.
We are anticipating going over to County Court 13 and accepting responsibility for this term to take corrections for children. Between that and I'm assuming a dismissal on the assault, probably wouldn't go forward. The GPS, the original reason for the GPS would come off.
I think he should remain on some type of GPS. The only issue for the court is whether he should be allowed to work. Now, this stacks of cash that was laying on his desk, I don't know how much cash it was. It doesn't say it. Does anybody know?
The state does not.
I was told it was $500, Judge.
Oh, $500?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a lot of ones.
Well, let me add. Well, we know what a lot of ones usually mean. Nobody at the bank is handing out ones.
It just saved me from a long time because I would piggy bank and you roll them up, but like there's too many ones I don't want to roll up.
Oh, so you're saying this is not something you received from the bank. This is just you rolling up ones.
Well, like not like that. It just I put in the savings like that because I got to roll them up so they could fit.
Oh, okay. All right. That explains things. All right. So I'm going to order a GPS, waive fees, and it will be partial until further notice. And it's partial for employment and completion of CPS services. So CPS, if they are going to arrange visitation for you, it will have to be at their location. So I know he'll have to travel to that location to do it. All right. Is there, yes.
Also, I was trying to enroll in school, because my probation and my CPS, so my therapist, he told me there's this program called Project Quest. So I'm trying to see what I could do. I already applied for it, but I didn't have a birth certificate, so I had to go get one.
Well, I will tell you this. What I said was CPS compliance, and that you're allowed partial GPS for employment and completion of CPS. So if that's something that CPS is requiring, you will be allowed to do that. However, you need to make sure you're in contact with your probation officer and letting them know. CPS says, I have to go to Project Quest. This is where it's located. This is the time I will be there. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And there's something else you need to realize. You're looking at 20 years in the prison. You understand? All right, anything else from either side?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Judge, I'm sure there is, but I can't think of it at the moment. I have no other questions.
All right, we can go off the record. Is there anything you need, anything you do not understand?
No, man, I understand everything.
All right, thank you. Thank you for addressing appropriately for
Thank you.
court.
Thank you for giving me
Probation, I'm
this.
sorry, just one second. Probation, is there anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All righty.
This is completely unrelated.
That's your story.
Because he didn't go with me because of health,
Mhm.
end up later,
Yeah.
and now I have.
Oh,
And every time I do it, I think of my dad when I throw it in the stack.
oh.
Judge, thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah.
Jimmy Montavo. Where's your client? Good morning, how are you doing? Oh, I cannot complain.
Almost ready.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow. So in this case, where are we on discovery?
I believe it's complete, Your Honor.
State, were you able to tender an offer?
Kind of.
Attempt
There
to.
are two misdemeanors that are separate from these offenses. One of them has two complainants. I am trying to determine if we can contact the complainants. A victim contact letter went out a week ago. If the complainants have not responded within 2 weeks, then I'll be fine TICing that case for a plea on one of these cases.
All right, so this can come back for a plea deadline date, either the week of April 7th or the 14th.
Can I do the week of the 7th, please, Judge?
Ms. Ferguson, I need a plea deadline, state, is that enough time for you?
Should be enough time, Judge.
All right, Norma, if you can set this that Thursday of the 7th, the 10th. Yes. All right, April 10th is your plea deadline date. On that date, you need to let the court know whether or not you've reached an agreement. If you have not, your case will be set for jury trial. Any questions? All right, thank you.
One more thing, Judge. We
Yes.
filed a I received from the bond company an affidavit to restore the bond in each of the cases.
Okay,
So we were hoping to send that to the court for your approval.
all right, just one second. Uh, does anyone have the copy of the affidavit to surrender surety? Yes. All right. Council's saying the 10th is best for her, so the 10th. Thanks. All right, thank you. And state, do you have any objection? I haven't seen the reason the bondsman surrendered the surety to begin with, but do you have any objections? If there are no issues with that to the court signing it?
Unclear because I haven't conferred with defense counsel about this issue yet.
All right, if you all to step back and confer. All right, thank you.
Should be acknowledged as someone who's a good worker. Okay, Judge, I think we're ready.
You're ready? Okay. If you have your client come back. All right. All right, counsel for the state, do you have any objections?
If the bond company is willing to get back on the bond, state has no objection.
All right, and the court doesn't see where there was a court setting and he didn't show for it, so I'll sign the bond. Ms. Ferguson, if you can give him a reset form for the 10th. All right, you're welcome.
Have a good one.
Oh, Deputy Laura, he needs a reset form.
Okay.
Teron Trevino. How did your jury trial go? Hello.
Not guilty.
Oh, congratulations. All right, so on this case, the last time we were here was for discovery and then it was reset because you were in jury trial. So where are we on the discovery?
Believe that it's corrected now. I
Okay.
need to verify that, but we also have an offer today,
Okay,
and I need to visit with Mr. Trevino and make sure he understands everything.
all right, sir, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 30, I'm gonna be 32 in April.
Oh, well, happy soon to be birthday.
Thank you.
All right, so when is your birthday in April?
April 24th.
All right, so we'll make sure we don't put your date for that day. Council, I can bring this back the week of April 7th.
That will work, Judge.
All right, it can be the 7th, the 8th, or the 10th.
Listen. Do it on the 10th.
All right. All right, so your plea deadline date is going to be April 10th. If you're not able to reach an agreement, then your next setting will be a trial setting.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for addressing appropriately for court. Just have a seat. And once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused.
Thank you. Ma'am.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you, Judge.
Joseph Grosso? Yes.
I conferred with Mr. Garrett and this morning, Judge. This says case is set for trial on Monday, Judge. My client is actually still in confidence, still working, Judge. So I just wanted to approach to get a reset on the case. And we can
All
continue
right.
working the treatment program.
Do you know, has he been transferred to the state hospital yet? Okay.
He's been engaged and actively participating in an outpatient program, but working with Center for Healthcare and other things as well.
Do they have any idea when he will regain competency?
No, Judge. He's been reevaluated recently and he's still incompetent from my understanding. But there is not anything said in
Yeah.
any more things concerning this case.
There should be, there's supposed to be, there are deadlines to reevaluate.
They did that in the last month or so, Judge.
Okay.
Having trouble getting things scheduled in timely fashion. I just don't.
All right. So, I'll recall this for May.
That's my Judge. And if I need to reapproach a week before, I can do that as well.
All right, we'll recall it for May 19th. Norma, Joseph Grosso, and you're in contact with him, correct?
I am, Judge. I have pretrial services and his sister and his family.
All right, we're gonna recall this May 19th. Okay. Yeah. No, just put it on the docket. It doesn't need to be phantom.
Thank you.
Too. Estrella De Jesus,
Yes, Your Honor, present.
Estrella.
Yes.
Well, what is that S doing in there? Estrella,
The two L's is like
a Y?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Estrella.
yes.
This was
I'm
a,
working on it. I'm working on it.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Okay, see that, I do know that means that. So,
Well, at least you didn't say to Jesus.
okay, it's the Jesus. All right,
Family violence,
It's a bond issue, Judge, where I filed a motion to reduce the
all right,
bond.
have you conferred with the state on the
I
bond?
conferred with the state, and the state's done some research, and apparently there is a misreading of the bond amount. It's supposed to be 10,000, and that's what they're agreeing to reduce it to, or have it set at 10,000 instead of the 70,000.
All right, so let's start here. Where are we on discovery?
Ashley Jones for the record, Your Honor.
Oh, we're not on the record yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, yeah, no, I'm working on that, Judge. And there's some witnesses that I'm trying to get in touch with. One, we don't have an address or a phone number for, but we're working through other channels to try to get.
All right, and then state, were you able to tender an offer or no?
No, Your Honor, I think we've just been dealing with this bond issue. I think this is the second time defense counsel has appeared. And so,
Do y'all want to confer on an offer and then you can come back and I'll hear your bond issue?
Sure, Judge, brings you.
All right, thank you.
thanks, Judge.
I do have to go to the 186th as well. I'll
You can
confer
confer with
first.
them and then we'll take this right up.
I'll confer with them first, Judge.
All right. All right, just have a seat.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
And then, once you finish conferring with them, that's just approach because I know the deputies are trying to make sure there are not a lot of people in the box.
Understood. Just on names, Judge, we had a baseball game in Austin, I did high school, right? Like $30,000 a year prep school, St. Michael's. Those people couldn't bring them. They're crossing out Emilio Negrete, Alex Canales.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, my question was, are they doing that on purpose? Or are they just so lily white up there that they don't know that you're in Austin? It's technically, it's Canales and Negrete.
I don't know. Sometimes it's hard. Timothy Joseph Dean. Are you all ready to proceed on the motion to revoke? All right, come down, sir. All right, so what is going on?
Your Honor, good morning. We've had an opportunity, council and I have had an opportunity to confer this morning with regard to particular ideas that I'd like to talk to the board about.
Okay.
One of those ideas was ultimately to bring the director of a program that I'd like to talk to the board about. And I believe the director is certainly willing to come in. I had not talked to the director about his schedule. I will contact him as soon as I leave court today to see how quickly he can come in. I do know Mr. King, he will make every arrangement to try to come in at the court's
Okay, so
discretion.
here's my question.
Well, Judge, I can have him come in and testify before the court if I can get a small reset to as quickly Monday, anytime next week.
I mean, we have Zoom, he can zoom in. I'm
I don't
fine
know
with
if-
that. He doesn't need to, state, are you requesting that his witness appear in person?
No, Your Honor, and I spoke to the defense counsel about this, that I wouldn't be opposed to Zoom. I just don't know if they were prepared to actually have him in today or not. I'm
You
okay
wanna,
with Zoom.
you wanna call your witness, because it appears that what you want to present to the court is information about a program. And I'm always open to hearing information about programs. So if you want to call your witness and see if they can zoom in, unless this is going to be a contested.
Well, Judge, none of this is contested. I can
Okay.
tell you, the importance of what, certainly I'm dealing with his case here. He's got a case in County Court 6. Judge, I'm dealing with a case in Guadalupe County. The gravity of all this is stemming from drug-related cases.
Oh, no, here's the thing, I understand that. So just get the Zoom link from Ms. Ferguson and I will hear everything. The state and defense counsels will tell you, I keep an open mind about everything. So it appears that this is not a contested hearing, and when it's not contested, that means that somebody's gonna plead true. And then you want to impart some information to me about maybe what a program would be great for him. I'm willing to hear it. So you can see if your witness can zoom in and I'll hear it.
Let me see if, what is the court schedule if he could possibly be here at 1:30 in person? I'm always a proponent of shaking somebody's hand as opposed to doing it by phone.
Oh, no,
he's
his
able-
video will be here.
I understand, Judge. You understand.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Uh,
All right, then
if you
let's
can
step
be-
back and see.
If the court is holding a 1:30 docket, I don't know what your schedule is like.
Oh, we are always here.
Uh,
All right,
Let me see what his schedule is like, Judge.
all right, thank you, thank you. All right, are you all ready on Estrella? Okay, De Jesus. Are you all ready on De Jesus? Where did he go? All right, Christine Garcia.
We're ready.
All right. Oh, you're on this side,
I thought
counsel.
so, but I wasn't.
How are the Magnolias doing?
It has received a nitrogen and iron supplement. It sounds like a baby, but it's supposed to help it. But I don't know why. I think that this period of time, I don't know whether I'm not putting enough water on it or what, but I'm starting to see some brown on the leaves.
Well, you know what? I don't think anybody was expecting it to be 46 degrees this morning, but
I will.
yeah. All right. Court is calling 2022 CR 2843, State versus Christine Marie Garcia. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense?
John Young?
And are you Christine Marie Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the motion to revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Christine Marie Garcia was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 2843 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 to 4 grams on June 28, 2022 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 4 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Christine Maria Garcia did and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of October 2024, November 2024, December 2024, and January 2024, a violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor, one amendment, I think that was January of 2025.
You're correct. 2025, got on a roll there. Thank you.
All right. How do you plead to that? True or not true?
We'll waive the remaining violation.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you to 3 years in the prison and up to $1,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, counsel, are there any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Then the court will find violation of condition number 4 true.
Just a second, Judge.
Mr. Young, could you,
Oh, I didn't realize. that.
your hand's running over the mic? Okay.
I
Sorry.
didn't realize
Just
that's what
like-
it was.
All right, is there a proposed agreement?
Here is your honor.
Yes.
It's to revoke the individual offer of community supervision, reform the underlying sentence of 3 years to 2 years in the Texas Department of Corrections.
That is our agreement, Your Honor.
Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison. Probation, was the restitution paid to the laboratory for drug testing? There's $1,000 fine, $171 to the Bear County Crime Lab for testing. Give you credit for any time served. And I'll request the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. We're off the record. I ordered the therapeutic community. Oh, State, you may be excused. I ordered the therapeutic community. That's just to help you maintain your sobriety. I cannot force you to be in that program. I cannot force the prison system to put you in that program. I have no jurisdiction, but they'll see that I'm requesting it. It's a good program and it can help you out.
Your Honor.
Yes.
She completed SATIF, has 119 days credit on that, and she has been in custody 63 days.
Did she successfully complete that
I believe
program?
she did, Your Honor.
Probation, was that program successfully completed? SATIF? Successfully completed? No, I will not give you credit for that.
She did complete the program, Your Honor. She just didn't complete the aftercare.
No, I'm not going to give credit.
And I will also mention that the taking her off the aftercare program is because she self-admitted that she had used opiates. It was not in her analysis.
All right, I'm not going to give you credit for that. All right, thank you. Are you already on De Jesus? Michael Medine? Who's the attorney for Michael Medine? Right. So the last time we were here, there were some issues with discovery body cam. and
Yes,
gas.
Judge, and I've received, I believe, all the discovery that was in the state's possession, including the CPS report. We've also received an offer today related to my client. We need some time to.
All right. How old are you, sir?
I'm 22, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset for a plea deadline date?
Okay, Judge.
All right, your plea deadline date will be April 21st. On that date, if you do not reach an agreement, you will be set for jury trial. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
All right, just have a seat. Your attorney will give you a reset form. Once you sign it, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And state on that case, if you all could sign an acknowledgement of discovery.
Yes.
Darren Fish. Good morning, where's your client?
Not here.
Okay, let me see something.
He's also has a case in 11 and he's not there yet.
Okay. All right, let me just pull him up in the system. Deputy Laura, could you make an announcement for Darren Anthony Fish, please?
I just did, Your Honor, he is not out there.
Okay. All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 0000909 State versus Darren Anthony Fish. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Al Simpson, Mr. Fish.
All right, this hearing is scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:21 a.m. The defendant has not answered docket. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement for the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor, he did, he is not out there.
Defense, have you had in contact with your client?
Not since the last court date, but we have.
All right. State?
We're requesting a bond forfeiture, Your Honor.
All right, let me see here. All right, we're gonna go off the record for a moment. All right. The court will issue a judge's warrant and remand him without bond. If he makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you. Rudy Luna. Hello, Mr. Luna.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Judge?
Yes.
This is a compliance hearing. A supplemental report was sent in, requesting for the removal of his ignition interlock device, Judge. The state had no opposition, but you did want to talk to, Mr. Luna about his sobriety.
All right, so Mr. Luna, the state is in agreement to removing your device. And I know that you're on probation for DWI.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are you doing to maintain your sobriety?
I started doing the faith formation classes
Mhm.
every Sunday. Getting ready to sign up for RCI to do my confirmation. So I've been spending a lot of time more at church stuff, more with my grandkids. Just seeing them grow up.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to sign the motion, but I always like to have conversations with people because sometimes with our sobriety, I say with our sobriety as though I have an issue, but the reason why I say that sometimes when you're given more freedom, then people start backtracking a little bit. And I don't want you to end up backtracking because when you backtrack, then things creep in. So if you're doing meetings and if you're going Sundays or wherever time you're going, don't do this thing where, I don't feel like it and I'll just double up on it. Because then the next thing you know, you look up and you've fallen off track. You understand? All right. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Abrams, I will sign and grant the removal. All right, thank you. Good luck to you, and thank you for dressing appropriately for court. That was Luna. That's okay. Caroline Brown? Yes.
I'm here on that case. She's in custody.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to file a motion to withdraw. This is a felony.
Okay, where is she?
She's in custody. They're bringing her.
Oh, once they bring her up, I'll take the matter up. Thank you. Janaro Raina? Good morning. How are you doing? Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
All right, court is calling 2022 CR 0497 State versus Janaro Raina. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Rick Pena for the state of Texas.
Eric Hernandez for Mr. Raina.
And are you Mr. Raina?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and State's motion to supplement pending motion to revoke probation with your attorney? And did you understand it?
Your Honor, if I may, we have
Yes.
not had a chance to review that document. Mr. Raina is asking to have a bond set and time to hire an attorney.
All right, so y'all need to review the document and then approach. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. They're not ready. I'm working. I'm not gonna do duo. Well, maybe I will do Duolingo. We'll see. Janaro? Okay, see, even he pronounced it wrong. How am I supposed to learn?
Make it the English version.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. You all need to go over the alphabet with me. Who is here on Isaiah Gibson? Did I pronounce that correctly? All right, where is Mr. Gibson?
Judge, I think we have a plea of true with their proposed resolution.
All right. Court is calling 2022 CR 1156 State versus Isaiah Gibson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Signing Galloway for the state.
Robert Mauer for defendant.
And are you Mr. Gibson?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? And did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Isaiah Caleb Gibson who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 1156 for the offense of theft $30,000 to $150,000 on November 16th, 2023 for a period of 8 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violation of condition number 2 on or about the 22nd day of March 2024 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Isaiah Caleb Gibson, failed to submit to your analysis as directed by supervision officer and violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
We waive and abandon the remainders, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. After conferring with probation, the proposed agreement for the court's consideration is to deny the state's motion, alter and amend the defendant's conditions to reflect intensive allocation, ISP high-risk caseload, sober support meetings, and then the UA hotline for at least 60 days.
That's your understanding, Judge, but ask the court to follow it.
All right, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Isaiah Antonio Caleb Gibson.
All right, why are you not doing well on probation?
I had housing issues at the time. Me and my
What
wife.
are your issues?
Well, I didn't have nowhere to stay at the time, and I didn't want to call nobody for help, thinking I could do it on my own. And me and my mom wasn't seeing eye to eye. Well, I wasn't seeing eye to eye with my mom.
His mom's here, Judge.
Okay.
I just never really called to ask my mom, because every time I called to ask my mom, she always gave me hard love, and I didn't like that, and I wasn't accepting that.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 27.
You got to get your life together instead of spending all this money on tattoos.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes,
You can spend money on tattoos if you have a place to stay, but if you don't have a place to stay, all of these luxury items, you shouldn't be spending money on that. And I'm sure your mom is just tired. Like, how many times can your mom tell you to do what's right?
She didn't have to tell me what it wants. She just had to tell me at all, honestly.
So it's like, how many times must she do this? I'm sure she didn't raise you to be on probation and to commit criminal acts.
I'm glad she did.
All right, and then there are other things in the motion to revoke, and I'm assuming that's why you all are addressing it with intensive outpatient treatment or want to do that?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, so here's the thing. Marijuana, my understanding, not from my experience, but what I've seen from television, maybe Menace to Society and other programming. Marijuana, usually you just around a group of people and it's puff, puff, pass, and nobody's charging anybody. But maybe somebody will bring a drink, but usually for cocaine, that costs money. That you've been spending it on that. You need to get employment and get your life together. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I'm going to give you a choice. And the reason why I'm giving you a choice is because I'm being told that this is what probation is recommending. Is that correct, probation? So here are your choices. I will send you to prison for 2 years. You go do your time, you come out. Maybe you change your life, maybe you don't. You'll just be another person who went to prison. Or I can follow these conditions. But if I follow these conditions and you come back before me, you're looking at up to 10 years in the prison. So those are your two choices. You can either do the 2 years in prison today, or I will follow the agreement that has been reached. Do you need to discuss that with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you wish to do?
Follow the agreement.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is finding violation of condition number 2 true. You are going to get employment, and part of it is I'm going to want employment for him. Of course, probation, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I know that I've stated that previously with you. And you're gonna have to have employment within 30 days of release, and knock your pride aside, because I know they're hiring at McDonald's. And they're just hiring anybody at McDonald's now because their fries don't taste the same. But I know they're hiring there. I know they're hiring at Burger King. I see so many signs saying help wanted. And what I can tell you, McDonald's, I don't know about Burger King, but I know at McDonald's, they will pay for your higher level education.
Bill Miller as well.
And Bill Miller's as well, which they removed right from downtown. Now we have to walk extra, but.
It's not real barbecue.
All right, as a side note, do you know, when I first came to San Antonio, because Bill Miller's was on every corner, I thought that was the barbecue of Texas. I tried it. I'm just gonna let that sit there. All right, it's fine. All right, you're gonna have employment within 30 days. So when you get out of custody, you need to hit the pavement running to get employment. Probation will give you a list of places to go to as well. And if you are not able to get employed, you had better show at least 5 places per day where you've tried to get employment. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be intensive outpatient treatment with probation. And you are going to do the UA hotline. You're going to have to call in. So either you're going to have to get a cell phone, somebody to loan it to you so you can call in, or either you're going to have to go down to probation, use their phone to call in. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And there's going to be field visits until further notice. And that will be 1 time per month until further notice. Is there anything else probation? All right, and you'll be on ISP high risk caseload. Anything else probation? We'll start with once a week, and we'll do once a week for 3 months. And if there's a positive UA, then of course, a motion to revoke will be filed. If there's not, then we'll move to at least testing once every 2 weeks, and we'll do it in those increments. Is there anything else you need from me to be successful?
I have to get an ID when I get out, and usually at the DMV, when you put a appointment in, it's like 2 weeks or a month in advance, and then after you put your appointment in. So that
I will
probably
tell
the
you
only
this.
delay.
If you go in and you talk to people and you present them with, I'm trying to improve my lot in life, I desperately need this ID. The judge is telling me I need a job in 30 days. Sometimes people will work with you. I ended up going to get my license, and I thought it would be an easy thing to do. I didn't know you had to set an appointment. And we can go off the record, my license was going to expire like the next day. And so I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. I go in there, line is out the door. It took me 45 minutes to actually find a place that was open, because they have places like, this is where you go to do your license, and it wasn't. I find it and I tell the lady, I said, I had no idea we had to sign up. My license is going to expire tomorrow. Can you help me? You know what she said? Tell you what, it's going to be a long wait, but just stand. I'm like, fine with waiting. I was there for about 2 hours, and I was fine with being there for 2 hours because they were helping me. So express yourself and tell them the desperation with which you need it, and you get it.
Just gonna say, and I think if you can at least show that you're going and applying for jobs, that you're making the effort while you're getting your ID, I think that you can show that to probation, will show the effort. What she doesn't want you to do is just decide you don't have an ID, so you're not gonna do anything. So you gotta get motivated.
And then when they interview you and they ask you, when can you start working? You know what your answer should be? Now. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and stop breaking your mom's heart. I'm sure she doesn't want to be here today for this.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Excuse me.
Yes.
See you at 1, Judge.
All right, thank you.
For sure.
Yes.
We're ready on Brandon whenever the court's ready to address him again.
All right, and what's your client's last name? I'm sorry.
Reina?
Raina?
Janaro Raina?
All right, just give me one moment. All right, see you then. Oh, Robert, how was the move in New York?
Although we were apartment hunting.
Yeah.
So the good thing is her new apartment's there by Wall Street. That's where the medical school is.
Mhm.
And they have extra security right across from her apartment.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But I told her roommates are mandatory.
Okay.
She's like, she found an apartment with these two other girls, but she doesn't really like them. And I told her I don't care.
There you go.
She said, you're not gonna be there anyway.
All right. Could I see the case on Janaro Raina, please? All right, if y'all will come up on Janaro Raina. Do I still have it?
Oh, my God. How you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. No, the only person I have up here is De Jesus and Dean. Oh, no problem. All right, so where are we on this motion to revoke?
Your Honor, you had asked me to review the motion with him. I did review the allegations on both the original motion and the amended motion.
All right, are you all ready to proceed on the motion to revoke?
Your Honor, Mr. Reina would like time to hire an attorney and seek the court setting him a bond. I've explained to him his rights as far as being true or not true today and what that would mean.
All right,
That
so-
said, we're prepared to proceed as much as possible.
All right, so then what we'll do is we'll reset this so you can hire an attorney and that attorney will take up any bond matters. And we are bringing this back, Ms. Ferguson. Bring this back in 10 days for a contested hearing. Whoever you're hired needs to be prepared for the contested hearing.
Do you understand, Mr. Reina? Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, what date, Ms. Ferguson?
Can
All
I,
right, so we're going to be back on March 31st for your contested hearing.
can I say something?
Sure.
Can I have a bond that I could,
You'll need an attorney to present that. So once you hire your attorney, we'll be back on March 31st. Make sure that they're prepared to go on the contested hearing, okay?
okay, do I get it from y'all or do I have to hire somebody else? I don't know how this works.
I'll discuss that with you.
All right, your attorney will discuss that with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, you should.
All right, who's here on Luis Marino? Yes. I will tell you, the fact that Deputy Laura and my Spanish speaking staff, the fact that I'm not rolling my R's and pronouncing names correctly, that is a reflection on you all for not teaching me. Okay.
Judge, this is a compliance hearing. There was a status report submitted for consideration for early dismissal on this case. And at the time the state opposed it, I believe I know why. And you wanted to set it for a hearing. It's a failure to stop and render aid case. Granted her probation, deferred adjudication for a period of 10 years. She's been on for 5 years. Ms. Marino has completed everything that she needs to complete. There's not been any compliance issues. And that's all I have, Judge.
Okay. Let me just read your letter, okay?
And I believe, Judge, in addition to that letter, she does have other things that she would like to express.
Okay. All right, Jason. I think you're the one. I don't know if you had a chance to review her letter. And I don't know if that would make you change your mind or not. And how old are you?
I'm 27 now.
Okay. And how old were you at the time of this?
I was 20 or 21.
Okay. So what have you learned?
I have learned a lot. I have learned to, there's consequences for your actions, and that's I'm really taking a big toll. I had so many plans for myself that it went different ways because of my actions. I retained my same job. I tried to move up within the company, but I have a record, and I just didn't want to jeopardize losing my job and having to reapply. But I still with my same job. I've gotten raises. I've done everything I'm told to, and right now I'm still living with my parents. I just got the news not that long ago that my grandma has cancer, and so what I've been wanting to do now is just do the best I can for them. I want to buy a house. Maybe in the next 5 years I have a savings plan for it. And I try my best to stay out of trouble. I don't believe I have anything else on my record. And I want to be granted another chance to be pursuing my desires. I trying to go back to college, but tried FAFSA and I'm being denied the loans, the grants. And I have a bit of debt in my name right now. I'm gonna do my best to go forward and make the best I can with the life that I have now.
Okay. State?
Judge, no,
Okay.
not changed
All
our
right.
decision.
All right, thank you. You may be excused. So, but what have you learned about that specific night, though? That specific day when this happened?
I've learned that I'm just shocked. I have to react in this situation. I was very scared. I'm still traumatized from it. And before that, I've never gone in any kind of trouble, so I didn't know how I would react or what I can go about. I've learned that you gotta do what you're told, do what you're expected to do, and just because you think you're just one person, you're invisible, but you're not invisible. Anything you do and do forward in your daily life, it affects you and your future self as well.
Okay. So probation, has she completed everything? And probation is in agreement with early termination? All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to want this resubmitted to the court on May 8th. If there are no issues, then I would grant your application for early termination on May 8th. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And part of the reason why I'm putting it on May 8th is because we have something coming up in this city in April, which is called Fiesta, and sometimes people don't behave as they should, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I'm gonna ask that it be resubmitted in May 8th, and whether or not you're terminated early on May 8th is 100% up to you. You understand? All right, is there anything else? No. All right, keep up the good work. I'm glad you completed everything, and I understand when you're young, especially in your 20s, your first accident, things just fly out the window, okay?
Yeah, that was my first.
All right, but now you know.
It's not my-
All right, so we'll have you back. Probation, she doesn't actually have to reappear in court on May 8th. If everything is fine, just resubmit it to me. Okay. No. Yeah. All right, you're welcome. Have a great day. And follow your dreams. Caroline Brown, is she out?
Yes, sir.
All right, come down. Hello, and counsel, you were saying something with regards to this case?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Brown's been charged with a felony second aggravated assault with a repeater count. That puts her into felony one,
Okay,
and I'm not on that list.
all right. Okay, thank you, counsel. You're excused. All right, we're gonna get an attorney appointed to you, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just have a seat and we'll get an attorney for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. He's, Allison Settle. Yes.
There's a motion to modify GPS conditions.
Okay.
Essentially what
Oh,
I'm
where's
asking.
Settle? Okay, thank you. Okay, so before we get into amending bond conditions, State, were you able to tender an offer?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, Norma, on this case, set it for a plea deadline date within 3 weeks.
Judge, that might be a little challenging because I think she's due
Oh.
to have a baby today. But
Oh,
I can let the court know.
today? Well, I will tell you, there are a couple attorneys in here, their wives have just had children, so they'll be able to do something. All I know is what I've seen in television. They always say, I need somebody to boil some water and somebody get me some white sheets. I don't know what that's about, but
I did Zoom from the delivery room for the second child.
no, you did not.
Docket did.
All right, so yes, you want GPS
Oh,
change,
so
I'm
Judge,
assuming.
the change we're asking for is actually related to the medical appointments. According to Ms. Settle, her officer said she can't leave unless she's going to deliver the baby, but she's got prenatal appointments and things like that. So just asking her to be able to attend those medical appointments, which may be moot now.
All righty. Yes, I've signed that.
Thank you, Judge.
So you're welcome. Always good to see you, Hunter.
You too, Judge.
All right, and so, yeah, there are a lot of attorneys in here who've had children, so they can help. So Here's my question. When do y'all want to bring this back then for a plea deadline date?
I mean, if you want to set it for 3 weeks, Judge, then I can just let the court know. If it's not
Well,
possible.
I want to set it if she's spoken like somebody who hasn't had any children. I don't want to set it. Or should I say spoken like someone who hasn't given birth?
That's exactly right. Never say I've had children.
I'll be flexible with the court, Judge. I'll defer to Mr. Brooks' good faith.
All right. So, Miss, when are you expected to deliver?
My due date is today.
All right, so her due date is today. So let's set it in May for plea deadline date. What date in May is good for you, counsel?
Pick a date, Judge. The 22nd is a bad date for me.
All right, I can do May 27th.
I have All Rise, Florida that week, Judge.
Want to do May 13th?
May 13th works.
All right, so we will do May 13th. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right,
Thank you,
thanks.
Judge. May we be excused?
You may be excused.
Please give
So-
Mom my kindest regards.
All right, so Hunter, what have you been up to?
Elder fraud stuff, Judge. Prosecution.
Okay.
Prosecution.
Not you participating in elder fraud, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, it's good seeing you. Have a good one.
It's good you.
All right, bye-bye. And counsel, if you want a copy of the order.
I'll just lose it.
I mean, for your client to have. Who is here on, are you already on De Jesus? All right. Are you already on Dean? Joseph Dean?
You know, you had asked me that I try to get him over Gonzalez. Can I approach it?
Yes.
He was entering into, or he was going into a meeting at the bank, and then he was gonna be on the construction site this afternoon. He is available any day next week if we can reset it, if he can be available by Zoom, or he can be in court to make an in-person to testify as far as this program. This is Mr. T, the director.
All right, Norma, set this for March 31st. Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry. Good afternoon or morning?
Morning.
I'll have everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe excuse me.
Yes. Bashan Dean has been reset for March 31st. Okay. Oh, well, let's see about Nathaniel maybe. Joseph Statesman, is he on that level? Joseph. Roger Mims. Now he has things going on. Roger Mims. Yeah. All right, just give me 1 second. Hello.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing? All right, so have you all reached an agreement or no?
An offer has been made, Judge. I've covered it with Mr. Mims, and we're not prepared to enter into the market.
All right, State, how long do you expect this jury trial?
3 days, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date. If y'all confer with Ms. Ferguson.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
And give me the jury trial date. And State, if you'll make sure that an acknowledgement of discovery is completed.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. Are y'all ready on De Jesus? All right, you can put that in that. Stephanie Sandoval. All right, is she on bond? Oh, for this case?
Currently, surety surrendered.
Ah, okay. All right, then she already has a warrant.
Yep, she already does. Name excused. Judge.
You're excused. You're right.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Norma. Norma, that's Joseph Appelt. Oh, we're stopping at 11:30. Oh, no, we are. I mean, the rules apply. Hi.
Good hearing, Judge.
Yes.
I've been waiting for a waiver plea for a while. I don't think I'm gonna get the paperwork before then.
All right, so I mean, the paperwork has to be turned in. Let's see. Yeah. Where are we on his plea paperwork?
No. They still haven't finished typing it out.
Oh, who is the prosecutor?
Well, he's working on it right now, Edelman, but you're not, we're still able to do this afternoon, if not able,
Oh, yeah, no, it'll be this afternoon then.
you're not in trial.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, if it's gonna be this afternoon, then let Ms. Ferguson know before you leave, so they won't send your person back if they're in custody. Oh, okay, yeah, it'll be fine.
Trying to get it.
Okay. Okay. Did Brooks finish with Leo Cantu or he's? Oh, yeah, see if he would.
I'm sorry,
The other Joseph, okay.
So Deputy Laura, they have to come back in the afternoon? Okay.
Ms. Young. The, application. The application for probation.
Yeah. Could I see the document that I signed for, Will Brooks? I believe that was on Settle, correct?
May we approach?
Just give me one moment. Let me put this in the system. Hold on. Yeah. Yes.
Your Honor, we're here on a call bell, and we're hoping to, defense and I were hoping to speak with you either later in chambers on a sensitive issue.
Okay, sure. And which case?
It's a motion for early termination of police supervision. Just wanted to touch base in the whole recollection.
Okay, sure.
Awesome, thank you, Judge.
So.
All right, guys, I'll be back in 5 minutes.
We have no.
Any more?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll extend the operations.
Okay, but. Oh, it is?
I mean, I don't know how long when she got in there, but we have to have a question.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Alrighty. All right, Paul Brian Bell.
Council's President, Your Honor. My client's
Okay, sure. Hello. Hello. Yep, he was here on time. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right, so let's deal with first things first. Let me just find you on the docket. Okay, got it. Yes, I did. All right, let's first deal with this motion to travel. State, do you have any objections?
Yes, Your Honor, just, the state is just objecting on the record, just given the facts of the case. However, we understand, that the court defense may disagree.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 0058 State versus Paul Brian Bell. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ashley Jones.
Defense?
Austin Hagee for Mr. Bell.
And are you Mr. Bell?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's first address the permission to travel. I see that you're attending the funeral of your mom.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm so sorry about that. Thanks. All right, so are there objections?
Give me just 1 minute.
Yes.
I apologize, Judge. I did not know that was the reason for the reason to travel. So the state doesn't have an objection to the motion to travel as long as all the other conditions remain in place.
All right, then the court is going to grant your motion to travel. Now let's move on to the request for termination of community supervision. And state, are you in agreement with early termination or no?
We are not, Your Honor. Based on the facts of the case and the safety of the complainant, the state is objecting. We would like to see this defendant complete the term that was granted to him by this court.
All right, and then defense?
Your Honor, there's an affidavit that's in file from the complaining witness asking that early termination be granted. My client's complied with all conditions of community supervision, paid all his fines, taken all of his courses. He's in good standing. He has not failed the UA. This time we are asking for early termination so that he and his wife, so they are still married, Your Honor. The complaining witness and my client are still married and they still live together, so they can move on with their lives and get this behind them.
All right, so they're currently living together?
Yes, Your Honor, and that it was allowed as a condition of.
Okay, so then what is the need for early termination, sir?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
What is the need for early termination? You want to raise your right hand for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Paul Brian Bell.
All right, so why are you seeking early termination?
Ma'am, just seeking early termination just so that my wife and I and our family can move on to a brighter future and to close this embarrassing chapter in my life. Definitely am remorseful of the actions that transpired from that one night. However, I do realize that my family is my purpose. My family means everything to me, and my wife, she and I have been married now 32 years. And we would like to continue that until, the rest of our lives. And closing this chapter would mean a lot to move on to that brighter future.
All right. What I can tell council is that normally I do not grant a early termination based upon affidavits that the court has received, especially when it's a family violence case. I know that they're living together, but for me to consider it, I will need to speak with the complainant. She's more than welcome to appear by Zoom if the state has no objections.
Objection.
Or either she can appear in person.
Okay, and we can reschedule the hearing for that time.
All
Your
right,
Honor.
so then at that time, I'll consider it.
I understand.
All
We'll
right.
reschedule.
All right, and just let Ms. Ferguson know what date you want that scheduled for, and we'll do it. And if need be, she can appear by Zoom.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Kadesia Pettis. Court is calling 2025 CR 002575 and 002576 State versus Kadesia Brittany Pettis. Can I have the parties announced?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
State
Andrew Harris.
defense.
John Young.
And are you Miss Pettis?
Yes.
Counsel, in each of these cause numbers, have you received all discovery and reviewed it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each cause, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Miss, in each cause number, did you review application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
In each cause number, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictments?
Do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented in each cause?
Yes, Judge.
And each cause number, Miss, did you review the document entitled admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand in each cause number, you're charged with fraudulent possession of prescription medication as second-degree felonies?
Yes,
Range of
ma'am.
punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you are giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into pleas in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand in each of the cause numbers, if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Miss, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes,
In each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. In each cause number, did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes, ma'am.
In each cause number, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. They will take in consideration 2025 CR 0025578, 2025 CR 00257 2025 CR 00258. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only evidence that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have not, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 6 years and there be no contact with Walgreens. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then in each cause number, how do you plead?
No contest.
State in each cause number, any evidence?
Contained in exhibit 1 and attachments, Joe.
No objection, Your Honor.
State you may be excused. Did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
My client resides in Chicago, Cook County, Illinois, Your Honor. We would request that the probation be transferred to that location.
All right. What brings you to San Antonio?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, you have warrants here? So
Yes.
was she transferred from?
From Chicago, Your Honor. She was taken into custody there, I believe, on the 1st of December
Yes.
and was transferred here.
Oh, do you have any children?
Yes.
What are their ages?
11.
So you have one child?
Just one.
All right, and
Yes.
who's your child with now?
His father.
And when's the last time you had employment?
A what?
When was the last time you had employment?
Probably 2 years.
All right, so how are you supporting yourself?
I had came into a trust fund.
People in the trust funds, they need to make sure it goes to the right people. Here's the thing. I love this movie called The Descendants with George Clooney. And you know what he said when everybody was trying to figure out how much money they're going to get for selling property? He said, one thing you should do with children. He said, you should always give them enough money so that they can do what they want to do, but not enough money so they can do nothing. So in this court, when people are on probation, I require that they have employment. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, in each cause number, the court will sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. There's to be a transfer to Cook County, Illinois. What I can tell you about that transfer, you're not on probation out of Cook County until probation grants you leave to go to Cook County. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And so what were you doing with these drugs?
Taking it.
What, ingesting them yourself?
Yes.
All right. There's to be a TAP evaluation in custody. Follow recommendations. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. How far did you go in school?
High school.
Did you graduate?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to order parenting classes. 100 hours will be deducted upon completion of parenting classes. And the remaining 100 hours will be deducted if you obtain a higher level of education or if you obtain a certificate from some sort of trade school. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. Probation, is there anything else? And I'm sorry, in taking consideration 2025 CR 002578, 002579, and 002581.
May I approach the judge?
Yes. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you sign it and understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record in this court. To be successful on probation, communication is key. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know about it. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
It's motion.
Yes. I'm gonna send them to you now. Javier Salazar. And Norma, the attorney who keeps coming up here for his client, I don't have that phone. Is it Sinwil? Oh, it's you. Okay. All right, Javier Salazar.
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you have all discovery?
Yes,
Has an offer been tendered?
yes, and I'm asking for a short recess. He wants to discuss the offer with his wife.
All right, how old are you?
35.
Do you, just as a side note, do husbands discuss everything with their wives?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, usually what I discovered, not from experience, but husbands start discussing things with their wives when, as people would say, everything hits the fan. Then it's like, oh, let me discuss this with my wife. Like playing with power tools. Don't ask beforehand, hey, can I drill in here? No. And then when something happens, the house is falling down. Let me discuss this with my wife. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recall this for April 3rd. That's the time for you to discuss it with your wife, okay? Is that enough time for you all to discuss?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. We'll call you back here on April 3rd.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes. Mejia, I saw your smile. I think you're not discussing everything. No comment, okay. All right, and what page is Salazar on? Thank you. And Mr. Salazar, next time you need to be on time. Michael Gonzalez. Is he in custody or on bond?
He's in custody, Judge, sorry.
All right. Deputy Laura, on this case, we're going to recall it. His attorney was in an accident. So Norma, let's recall it for April 3rd. Yes. State Gonzalez on page 2 is being recalled for April 3rd.
Judge, may I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Constance Sinwell. Good morning. And where's your client?
She's in the back.
Okay.
We didn't bring our judge because you said we're stopping.
Oh, yeah. So we'll have you back at 1:30. Thank you. All right, this is the last case. And so we're going to take our recess after this case. Everyone else, you'll need to be back at 1:30. Oh, is this the interpreter's case? De Jesus? All right, so we are going to take up the interpreter's case. Everyone else, see you at 1:30. All right, Estrella De Jesus.
Yes.
Oh, this is the interpreter.
No, Estrella, in my case, it's not an interpreter.
All right,
Michael
so,
said me like a steal.
all right, so, okay,
It's just a recent change.
all right. But nobody asked for the file, but see, you know what ends up happening? I give the same instructions every morning and people are like, we've heard these instructions. And then when I don't give them, guess what ends up happening? Nobody follows them. Well, Norma, I don't understand why why do I have to repeat the instructions, Norma? All right. So, Mr. Castillo, today is your plea deadline date. So are y'all reaching an agreement or this jury trial?
We do have an agreement, Judge. The only issue is, I need to get a Padilla letter for him from Ms. Ling Han. I don't think I need much time. I did speak to her this morning. I think she can get it to me as quickly as possible, but we do have a tentative agreement.
All right, so quickly as possible. What does that mean?
I mean, I don't know how quickly they turn them out, but I'm assuming maybe no more than a week.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson, on this case, recall it for April 10th for a plea deadline date.
Judge, is it possible if she gets it to me before that we can bring him in earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one. All right, thank you.
Stand right there, make sure you speak up. Okay?
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 012173 State versus Estrella Hernandez De Jesus. Could I have parties announced for the record? State.
Rick Pena for the state of Texas.
Joseph Help for the defense.
And are you Ms. De Jesus?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all discovery?
I believe I have, Your Honor.
And did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. De Jesus, did you review the application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney? And did you understand it?
Yes.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor. So we're proceeding on count 1 of the indictment and we'll waive count 2.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of abandoning or endangering a child with intent to return? That is a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, she has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
She is, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so.
Has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right To jury trial, did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count one. There's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication in the parenting class. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
State?
That is the plea, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
By signing that you're waiving your right to appeal, the only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes,
Counsel, are there any such motions?
There are none, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years, 150 hours of community service restitution, no contact with the complainants, the MRT, TAP evaluation, and follow all recommendations. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offenses charged in count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, state offers into evidence State's Exhibit 1 with all attachments.
No objections from defense, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments that will review the same. Right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
With your permission, Judge, we would respectfully request to waive the PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
If it pleases the court, first of all, regarding the $1,500 fine, we would ask the court to probate at least a portion, if not
I
all
will
of it.
probate the fine.
She is 22 years old and she does have these 2 young children. She is not receiving child support currently. Currently, she's been incarcerated for several months. The children have been placed by CPS with her aunt, Maribel Villegas. And as soon as she gets out, CPS has recommended some programs for her to do some services, which she will, as informed me that she is ready, willing, and more than willing and able to perform. So we've just addressed the recommendation by the DA of no contact with the 2 complainants, which are her children. She would like to have at least no harmful and injurious contact or possibly some supervised contact, whatever CPS recommends based on her progress with respect to their plan that they have. She does have a plan for employment once she gets out. That'd be to immediately get with some temporary services and agencies until she can find steady, regular employment. Her last such employment was with Toyota 2 years ago. She had to leave that job because of the commitments she had with these 2 young children. She was unable to be at work all the time because she didn't have sufficient sitters for the children. Her aunt has stepped up and that's who should be relying on once she gets out, Judge.
All right. So here's my question for you. Why were you not at home with your children on this day?
So what happened was I had a friend, she came to the house and she lived on the next block. She was going through it with her boyfriend. She wanted me to go help her pack a bag. She was scared that he was gonna hit her. So it was supposed to be a quick.
So here's my question. What were you planning on doing if her boyfriend were to show up?
Well, he was there, so she was scared of. She was scared that he was gonna break everything in the house and hurt her. So I was trying to help her. Like she.
So
felt
how you
safe.
helped her was you left let me make sure my math is right. The offense date is 2024.
Help you out, Your Honor. The children were 3 years old and 1 year old at the time.
Yeah. So you decided, let me go help my friend with her crazy boyfriend and leave children alone who can't even take care of themselves in a house by themselves. And it wasn't just for 2 minutes, because the child who could talk said that they were thirsty and hungry. So tell me, where does, what is his name? Where does Mr. Adrian Ruiz play into all of this?
He was giving me a ride. He was down the street and he came with me. And we took the car, we went right there on San Fernando, which is on the next street.
No, because in the police report, people are saying that your car was driving up and down the street.
No, Your Honor, it's not my car, that was his car. I was at home all
Well,
day.
the people who were in the car, which was you and this Adrian Ruiz person, were driving up and down the street. That's what it says. I spoke to the witnesses. They stated they were outside in the yard having a barbecue. They stated they had seen the above listed car driving up and down the street all day, but had not seen anyone in the apartment or any adults around the apartment from at least 7 p.m. Witness stated the party had been outside since 7 p.m. Witness stated they were listening to music and he heard something that sounded like screaming, so he turned down the music. Witness stated that they heard loud banging and screaming and looked to the incident location and they saw victim one, and victim one is the 3-year-old, banging on the window and crying. They spoke to the victim. The victim said she was all alone. She was hungry and thirsty. And then the witness went to the front door to try to see if an adult was at home. And the witness stated the front door was wide open, but the screen door was locked. Witness called the victim to the front of the house and had the victim unlock the door. And that's when they arrived on the scene. So that's what I'm reading. So why are you driving up and down the street with Adrian Ruiz, and who is he to you? Is that your boyfriend? Who is he?
My ex-boyfriend now.
All right, so ex-boyfriend now? Was he your ex-boyfriend then?
No.
All right, so this is my problem. You were with this Adrian Ruiz. Is he the biological father of any of these children?
No.
So stop with the nonsense. What ended up happening is you are how old? You're 22. You're still acting as though you're out here in the streets single with no children. And what you have done is you put Adrian Ruiz Jr., how old is he?
He's 25.
He's 25. I guarantee you he doesn't want to be saddled down with 2 children. And you're riding up and down the street with this person while your 3-year-old and your other child who's younger than the 3-year-old are at home starving, don't have anything to drink or any food. Did you have food that day?
I have food, yes.
Did you drink that day?
Yes, so did
They
my
didn't.
children.
Because guess what? These children, some of them drink milk, some may have water, some of them need their diapers changed. I guarantee you their diapers were not changed and their diapers were dirty because the neighbor said that you had not been there and those children had been there all day
No, Your
by
Honor.
themselves.
They weren't there by themselves all day. I was there all day with them.
No, they say you were driving up and down the street with your then boyfriend. And here's the thing, I understand things get dicey for young people. They're just like, you know what? I want to live my life. I'm settled with these 2 children. And I was putting my dreams and my hopes and my stars and my moon on the biological father of these children. He's not stepping up. I'm not receiving child support. And you know what? People should be thinking about that before they start having a lot of children. You understand?
Yeah.
And anything could have happened to these young children.
I understand.
Could have been instead of this nice person who was knocking on the door trying to take care of your children, could have been somebody who's a child molester and like, hey, this is a cute little baby. And then you would have been on the news screaming, somebody took my child, I don't know where they are, help me please. When it was because you were being a horrible mother. You understand?
I understand that.
I don't think you do. I think 2 years down the line, there's going to be another boyfriend. And the reason why I say that is because when mothers have child protective services cases, you know what people always tell them? Don't get involved with any more guys. Concentrate on getting a job, bettering yourself, and taking care of your children. And you know what always happened? During the middle of CPS, when children are being returned, next thing you know, mother has a new boyfriend, somebody from prison that, oh, he's changed, he's a great guy. And in the meantime, you're putting your children's lives in danger. And children don't get to say, hey, you know what, mom, you're making some stupid decisions out here, and it's going to impact me. People don't care because you're all in your feelings with this Adrian Ruiz Jr. guy. And guess what? If he were a good guy, you know what he would have said? I will come visit you at your house, but you cannot leave infants to take care of themselves. Instead, he didn't. And now you're telling me some lame story about you going to your friend's house to help her with a boyfriend that's being abusive when you don't even have your life in order. If her boyfriend were being abusive, you would have picked up the phone and called the police. Because what are you going to do? Are you going to get over there and fight a guy? No, you're just doing silly stuff and putting your child's life in danger. And I'm going to do this no contact order. If CPS wants her to have contact with her children, then what's going to end up happening is they're going to have to appear. They can appear by Zoom if they want to appear by Zoom and come to me with the child's ad litem and say why there should be a contact order. How far did you go in school?
I got my GED.
And what have you been doing with your life other than having children and driving up and down the street with Mr. Ruiz?
I was going to cosmetology school for a little bit, but I didn't have babysitters. So I stopped going and I started going to Toyota Mutex. That's when I was working there for a little bit. I got into this program called Goals. And I was doing that basically. I get monthly payments. I would get monthly payments from them. I had to make goals and I get incentives for completing goals.
Here's the thing, when people decide to have children, they should decide to have children and have plans for who is going to be the babysitter. You understand? There's a $1,500 fine that'll be probated. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. TAP evaluation in custody. Follow recs. There should be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. There should be no contact with Adrian Ruiz Jr. If I could, if it were legal, I wouldn't let you have any contact with any adult male until you get your life in order and put your children first. But I'm not allowed to do that. So no contact with Adrian Ruiz or the complainants. CPS compliance, the MRT, 150 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once parenting classes are complete, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice, and counsel if Child Protective Services gives her parenting classes, which they should, those will be acceptable. And it will be 4 years deferred adjudication. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, sir.
Because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing with CPS cases. If you're not going to put your children first, just let them know and say, you know what, this person can adopt them. I have no intention of putting them first. The man is always going to come first. You understand? Don't waste their time and break their hearts. All right, good luck to you. All right, we're going on recess.
Your Honor, may I press briefly?
Yes.